Hello, sweet friend. Come on in. I've already poured the coffee. Today, I happen to have something a little different sitting beside my coffee. A warm mug of homemade beef bone broth. I know, maybe that's not what most people picture when they imagine sitting down for coffee. But that's real life, isn't it? Sometimes healing looks like coffee. Sometimes it looks like broth. Sometimes it looks like simply taking care of yourself in small ways. I'm really glad you're here. Wherever you're listening from, whether you're folding laundry, driving to work, or maybe you found a few quiet minutes before everyone else needs something from you. Welcome. You are safe to arrive here exactly as you are. Today, something happened that made me smile. I had my second cup of coffee in one hand, my warm mug of broth in the other, and I happened to look outside. There was the cutest little chipmunk running across the deck. I stopped. It stopped, looked around, and disappeared again. Nothing profound happened. It was just beautiful. And I realized something. The circumstances of my morning hadn't changed. There were still emails I needed to write, appointments to arrange, people I love who need support, a home to care for, communities to prepare for the week. Life was still life, but somewhere I still noticed the chipmunk. I wonder if that's where trust quietly begins. Not when life finally settles down, but when we realize our hearts are still capable of noticing goodness, even while we're carrying hard things. Maybe you've been feeling like you've lost yourself a little. Maybe you've spent so long taking care of everyone else, making decisions, putting out fires, being strong, that you're not even sure what your own inner voice sounds like anymore. If that's you, I want you to know something. You're not behind. You're not failing. You're probably tired. There's a difference. Sometimes we mistake exhaustion for inadequacy. We think something must be wrong with me, when really our nervous system is quietly whispering, I need gentleness. I think learning to trust ourselves again often begins with very small moments, not big dramatic ones. Small moments, tiny ones, like noticing that you're thirsty, or realizing you need to sit down before finishing one more chore, or saying, no, I don't actually have the capacity for that today, or smiling because a little chipmunk ran across your deck. Those moments might seem insignificant, but they're actually moments where we're listening to ourselves again. We're paying attention. And attention is one of the first ways trust begins to grow. There's a verse that has stayed close to my heart through many seasons. Be still and know that I am God. Psalms 46:10. I've always loved that it begins with be still. Not figure it out, not fix everything, not have all the answers. Simply be still. Because sometimes clarity doesn't arrive while we're running. It arrives when we finally stop long enough to notice what has been quietly true all along. I think that's part of why Sacred Return exists. Not because we need another place telling women how to improve themselves. There are plenty of those. Sacred Return exists because I think many women simply need somewhere they can sit down for a few minutes without performing, without pretending, without fixing themselves first. A place where someone quietly says, I've been looking forward to seeing you. Because healing often begins the moment we realize we don't have to earn belonging. So today, I have just one gentle practice for you. Not 5, not 10, just one. At some point today, pause, look around, ask yourself, what kind thing is already here? Maybe it's the warmth of your coffee. Maybe it's your favorite blanket. A bird outside your window. A text from someone who loves you. A deep breath. Sunlight on the floor. Or maybe, if you're lucky, a curious little chipmunk making you smile. Don't rush past it. Let yourself receive it. Because those small moments become evidence. Evidence that life is still holding beauty. Evidence that your heart still knows how to notice. Evidence that hope rarely arrives all at once. It usually arrives quietly, one ordinary sacred moment at a time. Before we go, I'd love to leave you with a blessing. May your shoulders soften today. May your heart remember that tired does not mean failing. May you notice one ordinary kindness that reminds you God has not stopped meeting you in everyday life. May you trust yourself enough to honor what you need. And may you discover that healing isn't asking you to become someone new. It's gently inviting you home to the person you've been all along. So, I thank you for sharing these few quiet moments with me today. Wherever this conversation finds you, I hope you'll carry one gentle reminder with you. You don't have to rush your healing. You don't have to answer. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to carry everything alone. Until next time, be gentle with your heart. Trust the pace of what's becoming. Keep noticing the ordinary moments where God quietly meets you. And remember, you are safe to arrive here exactly as you are. With love always.